Guys, welcome to the channel. If you're looking to flush your irons consistently, there's one key move that you have to do. It's a non-negotiable. All the pros do it. A lot of amateurs don't do it. So if you're looking to consistently flush ball divot, watch the full video. So what we quite often see, what the pros do really well, is they move their pelvis, their hips. They move that so good. They're super centered in the backswing. They're really good at leading with the hips in the downswing. So what you'll see in these videos here, you'll see time and time again, the hips are very centered at the top. They've not swayed to the right, and they all lead with the hips. I'm going to give you some really simple thoughts, some really simple drills that you can take away. We're doing backswing first, then we're going to do that key move in the downswing second. So first off, let's start. What is consistency with our irons? We are obviously looking to strike ball first, ground second. So if you imagine your swing as one giant circle, we want the bottom of that circle to be after the golf ball. It's not an exact circle, we're swinging more around our body, but that gives you the picture. If you imagine one giant circle, where do we get to the bottom of that circle? That is going to be after the golf ball. That's quite often referred to as low point. That is where the club is getting to its lowest point. So good golfers, really good golfers do this super consistently. You'll see in the video here with Bryson DeChambeau in the bunker, you've got the line, trying to strike after the line time and time again. That low point is very consistent. And really what we want to happen is, we want the club to hit the ground, depending on the speed, somewhere between 2 inches after the ball, if you're a slower speed player, to 6 inches after the ball if you're a higher speed player. Depending on the club, but that gives you a rough idea. This area here is where we want the club to strike the ground. The number one predictor of this is where your hips are at impact, so where your weight is. So we don't want the hips to return back to the original position. We want the hips to be forward of where they started. If they can move forward of where they started, if they move a good few inches to the left, you're going to have pressure on your left foot come point of impact, and you're much more likely to strike the ground in that zone. Honestly, as soon as you get this understanding, as soon as you do this, it is a game changer for strike. It is so important, more important than anything else, and I see this all the time in lessons. Someone who doesn't move their pelvis very well struggles to find consistent strike. So what we effectively want, if we place a tee down, we want the club to be travelling down as it approaches the ball and strikes the ground to the left of the tee and the golf ball. One of the best drills if you're off grass is just to put a tee peg in front of the ball and hit the ball then tee peg. If you're off a mat, you can use a piece of chalk. Both really good to find out where your low point is. So back to technique, what do we need to do in order to make this way more consistent? In the backswing, our hips have to move ever so slightly to the right. If you had a big heavy object, imagine you had a big heavy bag, something, and you were going to swing it to the right, there would be a small amount of weight shift into that right leg. But from there, those hips should start to work back towards the target. The pressure starts to move into the left leg. So we don't sway all the way to the right. We don't want to get up to the top with all the weight in the right. We go pressure right, and as we start turning, we start going a little bit left. This way. So what that does is that starts to get that pelvis moving to the left, and that's going to make it a lot easier to lead with the hips and move the weight forward. This drill is absolutely superb, but sorry about the camera angle. So one of the best drills for you that you can do, if you've got an alignment stick, and obviously off grass, you can just put this in the ground. If you're playing off a mat, you might need something like a swing plate or something that you can put an alignment stick in. It can even be a basket. And what you're going to do is, once you've set up to the ball, we're going to put this at your tailbone. So once that's on your tailbone and you can feel that that's there, what you're trying to do is make sure that your tailbone is left of this stick as you get to the top of the backswing. So there's that initial shift to the right, but then as you get to the top, you're trying to get the tailbone left of the stick. Shift to the right, tailbone left. Shift to the right, tailbone left, low point forward. And it's such a good drill. It's honestly one of the best drills you can do. There is another variation which I'll give you in a second. So shift to the right, turn to the left, get that weight forward, that pelvis left. So by far that's my favourite drill. If anybody's looking to know what this is, that's a swing plate. You can check out the description link below. That will get you a discount code on there anyway. If you don't have something like that and you're hitting off a mat, an alternative is just to put your alignment stick and place it right underneath where your belt buckle would be. Again, that's going to give you a point of reference. We want to keep the belt buckle or the tailbone going this way as you approach the top. So slight shift into the right, turn and move left. Slight shift into the right, turn and move left. So in between the legs, shift, turn, shift, turn and hit. Lovely little draw. And honestly, this is one of the most important things that you have to do. If you're not striking your irons good, I would be looking at this before you look at anything else. Love that feeling, super centered. Obviously that's not the end of it. There's obviously a next part, there's a downswing part to this, but there's no point in doing the downswing part unless you get the backswing part right. That sets you up for success. So honestly, you're going to thank yourself for doing this. It is, what a difference. It's just great. So backswing, let's get that pelvis, those hips, in a nice position up at the top. Once you've done that, the next job is to continue to shift those towards the target. Again, you'll see this from all the best players. If we refer back to those videos at the start, this makes a huge difference. So what are we looking to see from the top? We're looking to see that the hips are going to move somewhere between 2 inches and 6 inches to the left. So there's quite a lot of movement there. We have to shift into the left leg. We have to do that to move that low point forward. It is a non-negotiable. It's something that's really going to help your strike. So, a couple of drills that you can do for that. Drill number 1. So the crazy ball position, we're going to put that ball outside the left foot. So it's actually going to be further forward than where your driver normally would be. It's miles forward. And visually, what you're going to have to do is really exaggerate how much you shift into the left leg. Make sure you try it a few times first. The first few might not be very good, but the magic happens when you put the ball back to where it was. So we're going to go 3 shots with that crazy ball position. So it's a good few inches left of where it normally would be. So we're going to go back and shift. I'm not worried too much about the outcome. The strike when you're doing this drill isn't the most important thing. It's about getting that feel of exaggerated weight shift. We're going to go again. And then we're going to go one more. So, crazy ball position. Lots of shift with the lower body. Leading with the lower body. Not the upper, the lower. So crazy ball position, lead with the lower body, get that weight shifting to the left. Now's time for the magic. So now what you do is you put the ball back to where it started and have that same exaggerated feel. So back to your normal ball position. Now you've got an exaggerated feel of the weight shift into the left leg. So with that feel, you're going to take that exaggerated feel, shift to the left, get into the left side. Another drill that we can do, if we think about where your belt buckle is, One of the things that we're trying to do really quickly, I've got 7-iron here, is to try and get the belt buckle ahead of the golf ball. So have some practice swings where you go here, and without moving anything else, can you get your belt buckle ahead of the golf ball? If you can, that's you starting to get the feel for the correct movement. So that belt buckle going ahead of the golf ball, so just try that. What you can then do is go back, get the belt buckle ahead, and hit the ball. So it's just small shots to begin with. Right, we need to go back, belt buckle ahead. Back, belt buckle ahead. So I would start like this. I would go back, belt buckle ahead, and hit. And start to get familiar. That will feel strange. That will feel strange if you don't do it. A lot of amateur golfers are getting to the top and they lead with the upper body rather than the lower body. So it's something you'll just have to build up the feel, but will really help your golf. Will really help your ball striking once you start to get this feel. Belt buckle ahead, belt buckle ahead, strike the ball. And then work your way up. Once that starts to feel a bit more familiar, then you can start to add some speed. Up to the top, belt buckle ahead. So to the top, belt buckle ahead. Little bit of an overdraw on that one, a little bit of a pull hook, but the strike was good. So honestly, that is one of the best drills that you can do, is start to get that belt buckle ahead of the golf ball. And we can see that that is one of the key moves. You need to be able to get the hips forward, get that weight shifted into the left side like you've seen in all the videos. It is what all the pros do. And if you're looking for better iron contacts, it is the first place that I would go. So give these things a try. Comment down below what you struggle with. What's your bad shots with your irons? Do you hit fats, thins, tops? And what other tips would you like to see on the channel with your irons? But try these out, comment down below how you get on, and if you'd like any extra help with your golf, make sure you check out the description link below, where you can get a free golf lesson with me via the Skillest app. All you need to do, click that description link, you'll see here on the screen, you follow me on the app, send some swings, and then from there we can get a bit of a plan together to help you with your golf. So get that pelvis moving left, get that weight moving forward, and start flushing your iron shots.